The game industry is fucked, but in a way it's also in the best state we've ever seen. So many creative, mind-bending experiences paired up with some jaw-dropping, multi-million-dollar games.
Man, I want to get into that.
Well, you probably can't, because the game industry is, well, fucked. Layoffs in the tens of thousands, AI taking jobs from artists and designers across the board, and an imposing cliff visualizing your chances of affording Grand Theft Auto 6, let alone a house. What's interesting is that most of these issues only apply to the AAA scene, and people are taking notice. Everywhere you go, you see people talking about indie games and their profound effect on the industry, not only for games, but for movies and TV as well. Is indie the way to go to make millions of dollars? No.
So in the wake of a whole lot of layoffs at companies like Bungie and soon to be Xbox, a lot of people are asking the question, hey, why don't all of those people go and make indie games? Indie games are a lot more creative, a lot more interesting, a lot more fun than a lot of the AAA games we see these days. There are a lot of indie hits. There are a lot of indies that just feel really good and are rewarding and satisfying and make you feel good to buy them. So why doesn't everybody do that? So today I wanted to talk a little bit about why making an indie game is not quite as easy as people might think it is. It's a little bit more like buying a lottery ticket. Really, it's like spending years of your life to have the opportunity to buy a lottery ticket and not making any money during that time. Then it is a surefire path to success.
I would like to offer a different perspective on indie game development. One less focused on money and more about the intrinsic joy that comes from making games. This is why you should go indie, even if you want to go AAA. Let's get this out of the way. AAA is not hiring. I mean, they are. You just gotta make a lot of sacrifices. This is where indie games come in. You don't have experience? Make your own. All of the skills required in that application and then some can be obtained and built by moving into the indie scene. With indie games, no, you're not making money. I would throw away that notion before your wallet runs off with your passion. Some indie games make bank, some don't, but that's not the point. You're here because you love making games. You want to keep making games. You don't need a job to do that. You should still have a job, of course. Bills do need to be paid. See, I see game creation like drawing. You don't just throw somebody into a drawing factory and have them draw 16 hours a day. It's like turning a drawing into a spreadsheet. You strip all the humanity out of a person just for someone else's game. You should make art because you enjoy making it. It's about the journey, not a job so you can do even more work. Passion is what moves us. You can really grow as an artist. All you need to do is throw away your free time, social life, self-care, and sleep. This trial by fire approach is much more cool than other lines of work, but it also allows a more introspective thought and, by extension, more creative ideas. You will have that in AAA. You know the classic, I haven't slept in 4 days, yada yada. You know the drill. But you can't really do much with that introspective thought. There's no time for it. You have 80 hours of work this week. With indie, it's a different story. You're much more beholden to yourself. The ideas you create, all successes, all mistakes, they're all on you. You're allowed much more room to experiment and are given the time to let ambitious ideas grow. Most issues with games in AAA are that they have a much stricter deadline. This is mostly due to shareholders wanting to make sure their stock still has value. Because of this, a lot of games will release sooner than they need to, reaching gold with major holes and bugs chipping away at what could have been a fantastic game. You can interact with the community much more with indie, showing your game behind the scenes, asking and answering questions without having to worry about an NDA. A lot of people exist in this space, and some might be those veterans of the industry trying to switch lanes and make something indie on their own. I've been on my own little indie journey the past couple of years, and I've met so many incredible people during that journey. There's no end to the amount of talent, kindness, and friends you can find in this community. All of them have their own story to tell, and all of them have been on their own journey to get to where they are now.
Man, I'll never be that talented. It would take me like 10 years to learn how to make music like that. Okay, that's fine. What's the rush? Just start right now. Don't worry about how long it's going to take. Just take the first step. How are you ever going to do something for 10 years if you won't even do it for one day? Maybe you won't be good at something the first time you do it. You probably won't. But every time you improve, that's something that you can feel proud of. That's something that you did.